Hey everybody, it's your boy PB back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about a comic that um last week I started a Villainous comic, and when I go to read these Villainous comics, I always go into it with kind of like an open mind, thinking, because we all know that a lot of the Villainous comics seem to be kind of go down this like same type of pattern. But this comic, just honestly, it breached even like the top 10 of overall like manhwa for me. Because like the art was good, the story itself was really good, the pacing was really good. And honestly, I just like I found myself reading this comic, and obviously, a comic is really good when you have its ups and downs. Like, there's parts of the comic where I absolutely loved reading, and then there's parts of it that I absolutely hated reading. But even though I hated the part that I was reading, like it was still really really good, and like the only reason I hated it was because it was like something bad was happening, and it was like heart-wrenching and like pulling on my heartstrings, and it was just this roller coaster of a comic, and I think honestly that's what made it really good. But as I said, this probably is my favorite Villainous comic. I will say though, there are a couple other good Villainous comics, like the Villainous Lives Again. I read this one; it was pretty decent. Master Villainous, The Invincible, or I'm a martial art villainous, but I'm the strongest. Those are two really good comics that were probably my like really up there in terms of like villainous comics for me. Probably around my like top five like villainous comics specifically. Obviously not overall. But the reason why I bring that up was because yes, there are a lot of different types of villainous comics. There are a lot of villainous comics out there, and there's only going to be more. But the video is about one specific one, which is Kill the Villainous. Now this is a older comic. If I remember, came out like so like 2021. It ended like 5 years ago, so like it ended back in 20. No, I think it ended in 2022, either 22 or early 23. Regardless, there's 102 chapters. I'm pretty sure. If we go to Tappy Toon, where you can read it at, the link to this will be in the description below. If you want to come here and read it yourself. But yeah, so there's about 102 chapters. But I will say that the comic is definitely one of the better comics I have read overall. I know previous videos I would show you guys like the chapters and like the art and stuff like that. I'd go into it, describe it, and what's going on and whatnot. But Tappy Toon themselves copy striked my channel. If you didn't know that, I made a video a few days ago about it. But so I'm just gonna show you where you can read it at, which is on their website. So hopefully they don't copy strike me for going on their website and showing you guys where you can read it and giving the link. But I will say that this comic is definitely one of those where it's not a light-hearted comic. There is dark things that happen. It's a psychological romance, but that doesn't really nail on the head like what you're going to experience. As I was reading it, there was, yeah, as you can see here, like attempted suicide. Like it gets really, really dark, and overall, the whole dark drama aspect of it is probably what makes it really good. A quick synopsis, if you don't know, is our main character. She transmigrated into this world, and her main goal is to go back to her world by killing herself. But despite no matter how many times she's tried to kill herself, the world she's in, like the universal law of like casualty or whatever, like cause and effect, right? So she can't die. Like the world won't let her die until she accomplishes what her character is meant to do in this like novel world. And the whole point of her character is to kill the heroine of the comic. Of the novel. And so, we spend the whole novel, of her basically doing everything that leads up to, her own independence, everything she does to basically fulfill her goal of going back to her world. And honestly, it is just all the way through. I found myself really enjoying it, everything that was happening. This is definitely one of the better villainous comics out there, one of the better manhwa in general, in my opinion. Um, it's not too long, so it's like, it's definitely worth reading. Um, But honestly, this is definitely the romance in it too. I'm not usually a huge fan of romance manhwa, but the romance in this one I really like between these two characters. I will say though, towards the end, where she does, you know, her plan comes to like the peak and like everything comes together to make it happen. It does start, upsetting me toward. It did upset me towards the end when all these characters that hated her the whole time just like obsessively fell in love with her and tried throwing themselves at her, did everything they can to stop her from, accomplishing her goals and whatnot. But it's a happy ending. She accomplished her goals. She uh, ended up with the person she loved, and overall, it was a heart-wrenching roller coaster of emotions. But it really was amazing to read, and I really did enjoy reading it. But honestly, that's about all I have for this video. I hope this one doesn't get copy striked. Tappy Toon apparently loves copy striking my videos. But yeah, that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.